town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
I will be queen, and you will be king. Though nothing will drive them away, we can beat them just for one day.
Good morning, grasshoppers. Put some light on this subject here. A little bit of a late start. Good morning, Kingslayer Sloan. How are you, Rogan? I don't blame you. It's very late on a Saturday morning here. For you, where you are. Let's see if I can figure out. It's like midnight for you, I guess. Missed my instructional stream beforehand. A very slow start to the morning. I needed the sleep. Ron Hay on board one. Let's give Ron a quick shout out, as he is the GOAT of chatters at the moment. I did miss GM Aragazi. I learned that I'm mispronouncing his name, so now I'm going to mispronounce it all over the place. Whoops. Holding down the shift key too long. Ron has picked up a pawn. It is probably worth it for him to capture on F5 and open up the F file. Or at least not open up the F file, but to give himself a protected passed pawn. I guess he doesn't want his E3 pawn to be backwards. It did look to me like he might have been winning material on the outset. Bishop to b4 in some tactical line. Now, of course, he's attempting to take advantage of the pin on the e6 pawn. Maybe bishop queen h3 is the simplest, but there are some discovery. There's some discovery danger here. If only the bishop on b7 were protected. Queen to d7. Young student chess 399 is playing. Getting ready for back to school, I'm sure. Yeah. I had critiqued him for using his real name at some point. So. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. All right. We have a small family emergency that requires a flight to be booked, so I may need to take a small break. I'm just happy that the chat is working. The on-screen chat is occasionally neither here nor there after the instructional stream ends. Make sure that all of my settings are set correctly.
Oh, I got lost on the way to you in an orange sky by the ocean blue. Every mile lost, my soul renewed, taken by the sunrise and the golden view. Walking slowly in the mountains underneath the constellations. Yeah, I know that you've been waiting for me. Time is losing all its meaning, like I'm living in a
Not connect to chat. Picked up a few followers from chess coach Andres' stream yesterday. Checking a few things in chat. 1 second. Pick this up again. See if it connects. Stream seems to be okay. There we go. Back to normal. This does look a little tedious in this position. Those two rooks are bearing down. Question for me is, how serious is this? I don't see a tactical refutation to Black's attack. Black is up a couple of pawns. Very strong young man. This could be bad, by the way. Maybe not. Maybe it's okay. Might lose more material, but we have a rook and pawn endgame with king and 2 versus king and 4. Yeah, therein lies the tail. That doesn't look good. I don't know how this transpired, but we're going to have to go back and look at it again just to see what's going on. I think it all boils down to White not having played G takes F5, E takes F5, right around here. Like, everything is going well for White in this position. Good morning, Speed, and good morning, Phil Princess. How do you like an image on Textra? I don't know that it's possible to like an image on Textra. Within the texting app, it's not like iMessage or WhatsApp, for example. Yes, thank you, Yell Princess. I got it. Very appreciated. So in this particular position, it looks like, personally, I think we should have captured on, yeah, you can't. You can't like it. And text messaging, it's not the same. It's a very limited, SMSing is a very limited app, which is why WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger and many others are preferred. So in this particular position, we lose a bit of time with our queen. This is probably the correct action. Even in this position, though, maybe it was better to play bishop to g6. Or perhaps even... Nah, that wasn't going to work. So, again, queen to h3 was probably better. Keep that bishop guarded extra time. And now some material gets thrown by the wayside in this position. I would have to say that it would be best just to either capture or protect because of our king, our very precarious king position. Now, of course, stuff is hitting the fan. This discovery, and it was all downhill. Yeah. Speed in 5, how are you? I hope you're in the event. I have to go back, and it was a very difficult position for white in that case. Nicodemonius, where are you, sir? Oh, he paused out for a moment. Hopefully all is well in St. Petersburg. Nice. Diligent daily trading. I don't remember which week that I missed this week. I think it was Wednesday morning that I missed this week. I rarely miss an account. Speed in 7. Welcome. Better late than never getting in. Get usually at least 20 on a Saturday morning. The tournament runs longer. There's plenty to choose from. Oh God, no master. That sounds pretty ominous. This does not look well for black being only a bishop to the good on pieces, while white has a rook and a knight. I might have forgotten the pushing of the bishop. I might have gone for the attack on that and then the bothering of the bishop in this manner. But it really doesn't matter. Greenhorn is going to have to regroup for the next game. It's always tough to lose a chess game. The next instructional video on the YouTube channel will be concerning the book Double Pawns, another book that perhaps belongs in the Pawn Book Championship. I got a half-point buy because I was starting the stream and I had to start late. There was a half-point buy. One half-point buy in many Swiss events is allowed when you have to miss a game. Let's just say the tournament begins on a Friday night. You can really only play the Saturday, Sunday, Monday schedule. So that way you can actually get into the tournament without necessarily losing the first game. It encourages more participation. There were a few people that got the half point. It looks like. I thought you'd gotten a similar half point. We're bolstering our knight f3 stats this week. Is our opponent really a French defense player? I guess we will find out. And now that I'm playing the old Steinitz variation of the French defense without my f-pawn, it's sort of handicapped. So he does have an attack on f2 in this position. And of course the c6, the e5 pawn is going to have to be covered against the knight going to c6. I have to actually prevent queen to b6 with castling, which is perfectly reasonable. So I'm expecting either queen to b6 or knight c6. Knight c6 can be bolstered by bishop f4, but again my b2 pawn and f2 pawns are both weak at the moment. Believe it or not, I have had black castle in this position previously. Well, I have to take that bishop. And now with everything covered, do I go after the g7 pawn? Seems like the thing to do. Going after the g7 pawn. This position has changed just a wee bit. It does look like white has gotten himself into a bit of trouble, a spot of trouble. Considering the possibility of bishop to g5, knight takes e5. Bishop takes d8, knight takes g4. Or is it possible just to play queen takes d4, queen takes g5, f4? Queen h4 check cannot be answered by g3 because of knight f3 check. Awkward. Well, YOLO. We only live once. And now we're back to the normal danger that ensues. Queen takes b2. Castles. So, am I losing a pawn out of this deal? It does appear so. Dark squares are horrendously weak. So let's see, did we lose more than one pawn? Let's just keep everything under wraps just to make sure that we don't lose any material. So now there's no more pressure on e5. We have to decide whether or not losing the two bishops is worth it. Very tough call. I don't want him to have the e4 square. Doesn't seem correct to let him have the e4 square. But an honest effort to keep the two bishops, let's do it. These dark squares are horrendously weak. h5, queen g5, knight e4 would be embarrassing.
The storms we chase
Yes. Knight to d2 is very pesky. Only because the bishop is hanging. Maybe king h1 was an option in another life, if knight to d2 were not available. My opponent is definitely educating me here. Now, if I am going to give up my bishop, he did have knight takes c3. No, he didn't have knight takes c3. What was I thinking? Is the c4 square going to be as useful? Is it going to be as useful? I'm expecting him to visit me now. He's working very hard to get rid of his white square bishop. That's for certain. Just down so many rating points from where we started. It is unfortunate. And now we still have no legitimate breakthrough. No legitimate breakthrough on the other side of the board. At all. Try to prevent the incursion of his queen. We really need a quick shift of our queen to this side of the board. Wow, that was a wee bit passive, don't we think? What is the best way to get across? All right, in for a penny, in for a pound. Do we really go for the weakness on f7? Is there a way to get at it? This rook is tied down to h7 for the moment. Ye gads, folks. Queen takes d4 is a little bit of a bother, but now the queen is forced to recapture. We have a discovery. We have a rook coming into f7. Suddenly life is looking very rosy indeed. Who would have known, given the terrible position that we were in? but in stern voice, how's the collabs going? I'm glad I missed that one a minute ago. Rogan, collabs are a little bit on hold, unfortunately. So he's holding all the squares for the most part. Or is he? Looks like everything is coming across very nicely here. Does not look good for him. This looks like the end of the road as we know it. He never got his rooks into the game. Rook to b8 was definitely a downfall. Queen to f8 and queen back to e7 on his part was also a lot of a waste of time as he couldn't get his rook in the game. He might have considered sacrificing that pawn for the most part. Crispo, you played a really good game for what it's worth. Let's check Crispo's games out. Is he really a French defense player? He likes to play e6. He does get into a lot of Frenches. But I haven't seen a real French yet. He's played the exchange variation. The Queen's Knight variation he must be used to by now. This one was the same. But his opponent's not playing it very well. So he got rewarded in that one. Playing a lot of 2-1 bullet, Crispo. A slow chess game, he needs to make sure that his pieces are more active. Again, he does seem to get a lot of 2 knights defenses. And he gets a lot of them in the variation that I just played against him as well. That's even crazier. So he had all the experience against me and I didn't know it. I thought I was the one hornswoggling him. Speed in 7, we try not to talk about cheating in the Lead Chess chat. Fair play violations are just best handled by reporting a player if you suspect them of cheating. Oh, it wasn't you. GM. Alireza GM. Everybody can play fast, especially if they're comfortable with the position. Everyone has a catalog of solutions to certain positions, and if you're in that position and they are able to respond equally, we will look at Edu versus Alireza later. Good morning, Ariel Zamora. Wonder if you're related to my other favorite Zamora. Now, I don't know which Sicilian needs more bolstering. That is the question. Which Sicilian have I not yet played enough? I'm trying to balance out all of my openings so they're all equal. I have played nearly every opening in my lifetime. If I had to choose one opening that I have not played that much as black, it'd probably be the Scandinavian, just because I don't believe in giving up the center so easily. I like the idea of fighting for the center. Not unlike this. I probably would have played d5 against d4 as well. Area 3 seems to be a little offsides. Do we attempt to plug that hole on d3? Is it worth it or useful to do it now? We'll find out. Let's lock down his entire queen side in the dark squares. He's getting out of the loop just a little bit, but he's going to have a backward D pawn, which we'll be able to appreciate. Now, do we go all in with c4? Therein lies the tale. It appears that that would be a good move, considering that we don't have a white squared bishop. Our rook is covered on h8, so that any rook to a8 check seems like it's perfectly reasonable. Interesting. He's finally getting his pizzas out. That's unfortunate. We finished the opening well ahead of our opponent, but what is it worth? What is it worth at the moment to finish the opening faster than your opponent? How do we coordinate our pieces better, faster, and easier? That is another question. Knight to d5, knight to g4, pawn to e5, pawn to e4. Okay. Is it worth it? This song again. There's something about this song, and I don't understand why it's in my list. We're going to give it the thumbs down and hope that we don't hear from it again. Well, D2 is not available to us. Knight takes c6 is a good in-between move on his part. I don't really wish to let his knight have a good square at all. So let's just continue. Bothering in a way that we can. Is it worth a pawn? We're going to find out. Perhaps not. And where is he headed from here? I'll lose you. After all that we've been through. Do it in a heartbeat.
Setting fire to my brain, wondering how I'm to blame. You're the one who doesn't dream, so why are you always sleeping? I remember when you
It is a little bit of a bother that that pawn is hanging.
what happened to ride or die? I asked and you just start crying. How are you acting so surprised? Haven't you seen it in my eyes? Oh, I'm running, what am I running from? Time's going by, but where's the time going? I tried to give you everything. You took it all and took it for granted. If you're still falling out of love, maybe it's 'cause I'm not enough.
So knight to c3, I'm sorry, knight to d3, knight to c4. d5. Seems like all those dark squares are going to be weak. This looks really, really sketchy here. We're getting into trouble. No doubt about it, we're getting into trouble. Following through on our idea. This knight will be very, very pesky. There is no doubt, absolutely no doubt about that. Fortunately for us, there's more than one way to handle this crisis. That was interesting. He didn't go for knight takes a7 check, knight takes b5. Fair enough. Do we displace the knight? Our bishop is still a wee bit stronger than his in this position. Are we going to get e5, e4, and then an outpost square on d3? That is another question. Well, we don't have time to find out. We do need to reroute our knight back into the game some way. He's a smidge overworked in this position. Where's the knight going? Back to c6. Do I have time? Do I have time for e5? e5, e4. Do we have time? We're about to find out. As we get everything moving. There's no reason to attack him.
Check.
The 4-3 on one side of the board. He's going to get a pawn back. Absolutely no doubt about that. Or is he? Wow. It's possible that he's not going to get a pawn back. It is possible that he's not going to get a pawn back. Do we wish to keep our pawns moving? That's what we hope for. Just to keep our pawns moving. Anchoring pawns as we see fit. And check, check. Is that pawn promoting? That is the question. Is that pawn promoting? He's taking on f7. Or is he?
Check. Check.
And now for something completely different.
Check. Check.
Am I going to get somewhere with this? We are winning this king and pawn endgame. If at all possible, we are winning this king and pawn endgame. Mm-hmm. Are we winning this king and pawn endgame? Maybe we're not winning this king and pawn endgame. That's so unusual, right? We'll find out in just a moment if we're winning this king and pawn endgame. So now, G3, check, king F7, knight D5. Let's go for it. Let's assume that he cannot get back to E2 in time. Very important in-between move. Calculation is key. This may tax his playing ability. Well, I almost could have been stream sniped by knight to c4 there. Could have been rough. Could have been stream sniped on a free move. Free moves are often the downfall of me. I need to go and help my wife book a ticket immediately. So we're going to have to go on an intermission. Tentatively go on an intermission. Good move, king f6. Yeah, that was planned after king f5. I just had to make sure that his knight had no route back. Thank you, Pegasus. Nice, speed up. Let's give Ron another shout out. Pegasus, aka Ron Hay. Very good to have you here. Now, my sister-in-law is in very bad health in Trinidad, and we need to book a ticket. So I'm going to take care of that now, while I can. And I will be back. I will also use this opportunity to get coffee. Chest $3.99. There it is. Well, the live chat refreshed in this screen as well. That's good. I'm glad that it stayed. I didn't need to type it twice in the past. All right, we're going to pause just for a moment. For those of you who wish to join the tournament, it is not too late, I don't think. We have until the end of round 5. Would love to test that theory, though. We are on the weekend dojo, rapid dojo, and classical. Find out what the old event was. Yes, the old event is there. Edit com arena. Just in case. But in reality, should actually lead to this. Copy link address. That's better. All right, I'm taking a small break. I will only apologize for a moment, as this is urgent family business. Thank you so much for your patience. I need my phone.
¿De qué te ríes?
Es que me acordé de un chiste.
¿Te gustaría contármelo?
No lo entendería.
Así es la vida, tal cual lo dicen. Estás triunfando en marzo. Cambiaré cuando vuelva a triunfar el siguiente mes. Así es la vida, divertido al parecer. Querrán que renuncies, tus sueños vencer, pero no, yo no me derrumbaré, porque el sol saldrá siempre otra vez. Fui marioneta, muy pobre, pirata, poeta, peón y rey. Estuve arriba, abajo, adentro y afuera. Y lo que sé es que siempre que en el piso esté, me levantaré y volveré a estar de pie. Así es la vida, y bueno, no voy a ocultarlo. Pensé en renunciar, pero siempre hubo algo. Y si pensar en no intentarlo más, sin mirar hacia atrás, saltaría a volar. Fui marioneta, payaso, pirata, poeta, peón y rey. Estuve arriba, abajo, adentro y afuera. Y lo que sé es que siempre que en el piso esté, me levantaré y volveré a estar de pie. Así es, y no puedo negarlo. Pensé en renunciar, pero siempre hubo algo. Y si pensar en no intentarlo más, sin mirar atrás y sin pensar, saltaría a volar.
How can you see into my eyes like open doors, leading you down into my core?
you want from me. I'll give you everything, all that and more you'll see. Just stay right here with me. Love is not fiction, but this time the story's about a king and a queen will pretend to be with paper crowns.
Taken care of. Thanks everyone for being patient. Oh. Yes, thank you. The entire family is flying to Trinidad as my sister-in-law is in very rough health. She is probably got 2 weeks. Thank you, Rogan, for the for those messages. So we're canceling the flight that my brother-in-law booked on Tuesday, and I found a flight leaving Monday. There were no flights apparently leaving tomorrow, so let's get back into this thing so we can continue our training. Not the year for deaths in the family. What can you do? Let's watch Chess 399, who seems to be on fire at the moment. Reflecting back on the game that I just played before against Ariel Zamora, it didn't seem to matter if they played h6 g4, h6 g4, because the plan of bishop h6, bishop f4 seems to be the same. So this is 2 extra pawns for Chess 399. He does need his king in the action. I may have played b5 there, but now it's a matter of happenstance here, as we cannot move any closer because of... And now it's a matter of technique. The rook pawn is the right color for the bishop, so there's no sacrificing the knight. The king must go to a2. I'm not necessarily a big fan of pushing these pawns without the help of the king, but perhaps it will not matter. Was king a5 more accurate than king b5? Not entirely positive, as knight to e5. If there are no stalemate tricks. And that is giving up. We have another tedious endgame with rook versus knight and 1 pawn. Previously, in positions like this, if black is going to defend successfully, then they are going to have to sacrifice the rook at the right moment for a winning or drawing king and pawn ending. I'm not sure that this is the way to go. He could self-mate or lose his rook with rook f6. I was probably going to say that f4 check was the time to be played there, unless he's playing for a win. Possible that he's playing for a win. Nope, black is not playing for a win. Same threat is still there, unfortunately. Oh no, this is not good. Rook f4 was a blunder, Ron. You needed to play king f6 in that position.
Check.
So rook f4 was definitely a blunder. It's always good to have checking distance, be going farther away. Rook a3 probably was suitable. Just to keep that pawn at bay. There's no threat to the king. He had all the time in the world on the clock at that moment, too.
Check.
Ouch.
Check.
Right, Ron is white. Marco is black. Good job, Ron. If I could actually tell who's who. Sorry, I'm a little distraught at the moment. So by dodging that one,
Ready.
Viper 101, who's beaten me more than enough times. We are, as usual, exercising our right to play knight f3 on the first move. I am hoping shortly after this do I play it that way? Let's play e3 first. We're going to continue to allow him to take over the center, which he does not do. Maybe he thought we were going to play d4. Perhaps I should have put a knight on e5 when I had the chance. You have to go away, sir. Always controlling the center, gaining time. The f7 square is now remarkably weak. Let's prepare to open up the A file. Whew. Some distressing family news, yes. Is e3 vulnerable? Doesn't appear to be so, but let's open up the F file now that is. Do we rush forward with F5? Or do we reinforce our knight? Reinforcing the knight seems logical. E3 pawn is a little bit in the lurch. Knight takes f5, king takes f5, f5. Let's hold out just one moment. As we batten down the hatches a little bit on those dark squares. E5 is going to be met by E4. We're going to remove the defender of the d4 pawn as fast as humanly possible. Oh no! What is my opponent doing? My opponent is causing no end of concern and harm. Let's head over. The e4 pawn is definitely in the lurch here. I want to keep the white squared bishop. We're going to reroute everything to the king side. Yes. Let's get our stuff into action here. So winning this particular game is going to require quite a bit of human effort. Let's restrict his knight. Restricting his knight. Continuing to restrict his knight. Alright, maybe we're not restricting his knight. Maybe we're not restricting his knight. Well, this isn't good. Not good at all, I tell you. Oh no. We're going to have some divine intervention here. There's no doubt about it that we're going to need some divine intervention. And I'm not following my rule that I mentioned to Ron a moment before about
check,
maintaining checking distance.
check, check,
Checking distance.
check, check, check,
Good move, sir.
you lose,
He got me. C'est la vie. I would like to see where that one went wrong. Let's take a quick peek while we're at it. Yipsy, good morning. How is your streaming going? Games are going well. I did connect my cheese.com account to my streaming ability as chess.com hunted me down. We are 10 hours away from a stream by Yipsy, I believe. By the way, he streams at 7 o'clock each evening. Not sure if that includes Saturday and Sunday evenings. Now, I noticed that the automatic analysis of my games is not happening as much unless I go into them. It's possible that only when I go into the game is it being analyzed. Let's expedite the analysis here a little bit. So we're doing fairly well. Should I have taken and then played c5? Possibly. I thought I could get away with this. This got a little crazy. I am clearly worse in this position. I feel like I was fighting back. I actually felt like I was back in action, but apparently I was entirely on the downhill slide the entire time.
check, check,
Let's see what the end game is like. So the end game should be equal. I should not walk away from my bishop and allow that pin and lose my bishop. That much seems to be the case. King f6, king e4 makes sense. What was I thinking when I put my rook up there? I wasn't. Just had to improve my king position, that's all. So I'm not entirely worse yet at this moment. King f2, king g3, king f3 is the only move, and that's where I lose. Ah, bollocks. As Fabiano Caruana has mentioned, it is not usually the opening that is a concern in chess. It's how well you finish that counts. I didn't see Yipsy for 5 minutes. Maybe he ducked out. Possible that he came and he went. As Rogan often reminds me, it is very important to check chat. We will have more features on the greatest of the Indian generation upcoming. The future is India as far as chess goes at the moment. They are going to put themselves on the map. They have such a broad foundation, a crew of strong young Indian players coming up. But I can't imagine if they are going to dodge having another world champion, the second Indian world champion. Rook c2, king f3, rook c2, king e3. Well, there's a fascinating concept. We have to play rook a4 now. To prevent b3. the only move to prevent b3, or can he go for it? He can buy some time here with king f3 or king g5. Not entirely a fan of f3 though. After all, we're still going to be. But Ron looks like he's got the better of this endgame no matter what. The king needs to assist that pawn, and threaten to go to f6 at any moment. I don't know about this one. d6, d7, and queens. He takes time out for rook to d2. The pawn is still queening, and his is too far away. Whoa! Hold on, yeah, I just need to look at this for a moment. d7, b2, rook check. I guess that's the problem. So king e5 is a good move. King e6. Oh. King e6, he checked him and went back and did not pay attention to the very simple threat. He moved too quickly there. Was he short on time? Yes. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Let's skip the shining for a moment. Wait a minute, was that all 9 rounds? We only got 8 rounds? Fair enough, everyone. Namaste. Eric Rosen's birthday. No God, no master. I see your message. I'm sorry that you had to go. Let's do a quick analysis of our previous game here. Crispo? So the analysis is done on games that I did not review previously. Queen to g4 was not the best move, simply castling, although I would like to castle queenside in these lines, honestly. So in this particular position, castling queenside is definitely a huge option. Unfortunately, I moved the same piece twice in the opening, and I should get punished. This was the continuation that I was concerned about. I was going to play queen takes d4, queen takes g5, and f4. But there's no need to rush f4 because the knight is pinned to the rook on h8. Hence, they also give this option. Keep the king into the center. f4, queen h4, king to e2. Or king f1. King f1 is bad because of f6. Oh, and my pawn is pinned to my queen. So king to d1, f6, g3, knight c6, bishop takes c6. And the f6 pawn is hanging. I don't know that I would have found that. I believe I would have found it. Ping, Nico. Welcome back, Nico. We missed you, buddy. Nice. Second stage of qualifying to the 960. What's the link, Nico? Send over the link. Is it under arena tournaments? Got it. Thank you, Ron. Nice finish, Ron. That last event. I didn't give enough credit to the players that scored well there. Viper, chess 399. Good job, young man. Ron Hay in third. I mean, what's the worst that can happen for me playing the Chess 960 arena tournament, right? Copy. Let's do oh, hold on here. If I can find my stream title. It's still qualifier number 1. So apparently the Streamlabs will update the YouTube as well. Very, very cool. Second chance exists tomorrow. Got a Kamsky playing. How are you doing, Nico? Is it lag or a new game? I'm hoping that it's not lag. Let's do it. I wanted to experiment a little bit with chess.com as well this morning, ironically. Better remember to change the stream title all around, even over the header. All right, chess 960, 3-0. Not my 3 + 2. That's very reasonable. Got to study the position as best we can. Black does have a little bit of an advantage here, as we have 25 seconds to determine that. It's going to take a moment to get this king castled on the queen side. My bishop is not happy. It's going to take a lot of work to get this bishop out. We're going to try to enforce the first conflict, as our bishop is now live. I'm willing to sacrifice. If I can get my knight to a better square. Can I not castle on the queen side? Well, that was a little bit of a blunder, to be honest. Honestly, that was a bit of a blunder. Because I thought he should remove the defender of b7 and go after it. I have more than one knight that can go to that square. Well, that's a bummer. I'm not interested in sacrificing anything just yet. Is my bishop going to be trapped in there? Probably. My opponent is 17-15. I have to think about this for a moment. Keep restricting his knights as we fight for some form of Gegenspiel. Trying not to improve his pieces. So he has double pawns, 5-4 on the one side of the board. It does look rather lovely. Let's see if he has a valid reason for getting in on this seventh rank of mine. I don't think it's a good idea. So is b4 going to be an adequate way of handling this? Walking our king in. He is desperately trying to undouble his pawns. Fair enough, though. Knight versus bishop. Knight versus bishop.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds of
No!
hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight,
Now do we have him?
dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies.
Dripping lies, I tell you. Can we go after him? I don't know. But we will try. No, I'm not waking it. I'm not making it. Let's go back to the tournament. This is just a terrible position. Maybe I'm going to establish my 1700 rating today. Pegasus, what's up, by the way? I definitely have not forgotten about the streams that I owe you. I attempted to do them in parts. Let's protect our weaknesses as best we can. Build up in the center. We did expect that. We are still threatening to threaten. Now, is that knight trapped? It's not trapped enough. Let's just put it that way. That knight is not trapped enough. Gonna break through in the center. The knight on G7 is looking ever so lovely. I don't really want to give up any more stuff. The knight on D5 is no longer pinned. The knight on E5, the pawn on E5. Let's get our queen out of the game first. Connect our rook next. Cross and cover our king. Moment of truth here.
check,
Mm-hmm. Queen to E3 check.
check,
Is a problem developing. I do want my rook on the 7th rank. How am I down a pawn already? Craziness, right? Pinovich. He does have a very good trick here.
check,
And it is in fact a tragic trick. Whoa, I don't need to resign.
check,
Oh no.
check,
Well, that's a bummer. Allowing that counterplay.
check, check,
Enjoy.
check,
That's what we were looking for.
check, check,
Can I get mated? That is the question.
check,
could have tried to flag me. 3+2. From almost resigning to never giving up and never surrendering. Is he really going to open up? This diagonal? I guess he is going to open up this diagonal.
Check.
Yes. Little bit of a bummer. But how valuable are these? We have one extra pawn. Batten down some hatches here. Yes, yes. It is all yours, by the way. I can't stop you. Moment of truth. Is my queen locked out? That is the question. We're going to find out in just a moment. First things first, I want to lock down on his rook, or weaken his squares. All right, now the moment of truth. Fine. How do I get in here? All right, fine. You are trying to trap my queen. That much is true. And he's also trying Oh no! Scared me there for a moment. Seriously, dude. Now we're undermining the entire world as he knows it.
Check.
Mm-hmm. Let's keep barging in.
Check. Check.
Where are you headed? Uh-oh.
Check.
Oh no, it's check. That's tragic. Didn't occur to me that it was check. That's too bad.
check,
No more checks.
check,
All right, possibly there are more checks. Oh no, there are more checks.
check,
Yes, I think that I am officially toasted. I can't run toward it. I have to attempt to hide.
check,
We're attempting to hide as best we can.
check,
I was crossing my fingers for a double major piece sacrifice for stalemate, but I couldn't find a good square that looked healthy. C'est la vie. Mr. Dodgy. Monkey King. Everybody is streaming, I tell you. I was one to compete. I was one to compete with that action. I'm just getting run over. Go for those weak squares where we can. Fine. Well, I need my queen on the other side of this deal. Should he actually decide to try to shut me out? Well, isn't that interesting? I do want my bishop on a better square. That much is true. Trying to make life miserable for him, getting his pieces out. As much as he's making my life miserable, getting my pieces out. And now, is it worth it? Or was it working before? Was d4 working before because his king was on e1? That's unfortunate, if that's true. This guy. I am overworked. I am indeed overworked. I wanted to answer the attack with the attack, but I think I'm just losing a pawn out of the deal. Well, maybe not anymore. Maybe now we have enough. Pawn structure does count for a lot. A lot more than one can imagine here. Do I wish to have my pawn stuck on d4? Do I want the knights on the board? I do want the knights on the board. Activity, everybody. We do need the activity. Am I going to fall for being mated on the back rank? I could. I most definitely could. Which knight is going to capture first? Probably the correct one. Probably, most likely, the correct knight will capture first. That was the problem. Pegasus, how are you, by the way? Let's offer an exchange of rooks. Can I bother him some more? In any way, shape, or form? Yeah, we're going to offer you another exchange of rooks.
Check.
Mm-hmm. We're finally at it, lads. We're finally at it. Check. Check. Where are you going with that knight, by the way?
Check.
Oh no, you're going to that square? Wonderful. That's wonderful. To toss my whole game just like that? That's crazy bad on my part. Crazy bad on my part. Well, did he really need to do that? I don't have a draw button, so that's all I can do. So I've established my 960 rating with a
Ready. Going berserk.
you and me. Now that we have a dark squared bishop, he has a light squared bishop. See the lights. Was he winning a pawn out of this deal? That's unfortunate. Wow. Probably something we should have done a long time ago, right? Wow. Oh no. I got sniped. I didn't really get sniped. But I am suffering. That much is true. I am suffering.
Check.
Ugh. And he berserked. Why couldn't I just play a more solid game? I'm losing real rating points now in this game. Let's go for 1800. Solid. This means you have to have complete awareness of the opponents. So knight, queen, do I really want to play it that way? Or do I just want to open up the center? Let's open up the center. Oh no. That was definitely a victory for the guy. What a crazy move. I almost want to resign this one and move on to the next one. Suffering. All right, we're going to build a good position. That is our goal. We want to build a good position, a nice solid structure. I need to learn something about chess 960. Pegasus, I missed you, buddy. So now 1750, 1800, 1900, 2000. Here's a 1910. Let's fianchetto a bishop. First things first. We'll fianchetto another bishop. We'll strike at the center for once. And we're going to strike at the center again, creating the maximum amount of tension. I do want to fix him with an isolated pawn on e4. And And then we'll anchor our bishop as best we can. Well, that's interesting. I did not expect that. He does the bishop pair. We are going to continue to blockade that square. He shouldn't be able to castle. You know that? He should not be able to castle. That was illegal. And as we announced, can I do this? Just for one move? Mm-hmm. Our goal still exists. Moment of truth, queen to a4, queen to b4, knight takes e4, knight to d3 check. We do need to unpin. Mm-hmm. Sacking the exchange, but for what? A pawn on e4? Oh no, I got mated. He should mate me. He missed mate in one. Get our mouse out of the way here as we attempt to control the center. I don't really want to break any of these rules and regulations that I don't have to. Grab space. Ah, yes. At least we saw the mate coming this time. Small goal, everyone. Small goal. We saw the mate coming. Knight to c5 was expected, by the way. Now he's going to try for a smothered mate. No, knight to g4 was devastating, don't you think? Don't we think that knight to g4 was devastating? Oh, was it pinned? It wasn't pinned until now. And he can unpin his knight. Am I down a piece? I guess he can only unpin his knight for a moment. We're working ahead on this very tricky concept that he has. He didn't see it, which I'm very thankful for. But do I want to get rid of his bishop? I do. Let's not hang any knights. See what we can do. Mm-hmm. expected. My bishop on A8 is like the loveliest bishop in the world, isn't it? It is the loveliest bishop in the world. Next up, improving our worst place piece. Small plans, small goals, everyone. Interesting. Fascinating. Let's get ready to batten down the hatches. Preparing to batten down the hatches. Make sure we don't lose anything on this node. We've got a nice artificial pin here. Yes, the artificial pin still exists. It does have one excruciatingly obvious move. Fortunately, I'm not getting checkmated, but it could be worse. I mean, it is an automatic decision, but he hasn't made it yet. Maybe I'm going to be attacking him after queen takes g5 check. Well, that's fascinating. So he really does want to play rook takes g5 check and rook to g7. Bummer. I mean, we can dive in where we can. What in the world? That was a very profound plan. I did not expect that particularly profound a plan.
Check. Check. Check.
Oh, he slimed me, Ray. He slimed me.
Check. 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 Victory.
Threatening mate. He did slime me with the queen, with the I Botez gambited it and won. Who could have known? Good morning, Lauren. Good morning, Lauren. You know, I should be playing viewers, despite the family, what is AGM? Oh, he's a CM. Got it. Aspiring Grandmaster. Go this way. We have more than one knight that can dive in there. I feel like this should not be allowed. But fine. If you feel it should be allowed, so be it. Just keep up the threats on those squares. Yeah, we both had the same idea. Wise guy. Is this a sacrifice that we can manage? Because we have a terrible bishop? He has the correct rook spawn. What a bummer.
You lose.
Move on. This is the problem with arenas. It's much better to resign. You get rewarded for resigning because you can play more games.
Ready.
Our winning percentage is appalling, to say the least. This is one of those cases where having this weakness on the queen side is another thing. Do I want to take or do I want to keep pushing? I think I need to keep pushing. Invite him to attack my knight on A1. He's finally going to get in E5. We're going to play F4. Where are the weak squares? Can we play F4? We're going to play this like a bird's opener. We'll lock down on those squares as fast as we can. Is his h5 more of a detriment to his castled king, his potentially castled king, than mine? Yes, I did blunder a pawn. But the activity is going to make up for it. Probably bishop e5 was more circumspect. And now for something completely ridiculous, right? We have only one move to take advantage of. And we're not going to do it. We're not going to be able to take advantage of it. I assumed that I could get something with knight d4, but I didn't. Didn't get anything from knight d4. I did get a whole lot of nothing. That's something. I did get a whole lot of nothing. So, now we're trapped in Fischer's mind. Let's just keep everything guarded as we centralize. Try to keep his pieces bad and ours good. Trying to protect your soul. Now we can move. We've been playing for this discovery on that bishop for way too long. Well, that's a free pawn. And are we getting the discovery that we've always wanted? No. Not yet. Now we have the discovery we've always wanted. We've been flying from town to town. Now I'm really torn as to whether or not I want the bishop or the rook. Is that crazy? Sort of want the bishop. We'll take the rook. And we will simplify the best we can. Continuing our plan of simplify. We haven't gotten our knight into the game yet. Our worst placed piece. This was part of the plan. You can reach down. Where's the greatest possibilities? Might have wanted to take the rook. Tough call. Alright, some small gains as that was a very good player. Lovers.
Keep us together. could steal time just for one day. We can be heroes forever and ever. We can be heroes.
What do you say?
We could be heroes. Whoa. We could be heroes.
We have a very simple plan. Is it good enough a simple plan though?
I will be queen.
Is it good enough, our simple plan? He's covering c3 with his queen. I'm not entirely sure how good it is. But if we can get his knight to move, maybe a better plan. And what was our plan? Plan, unfortunately, has backfired. Fine, forcing my hand. I really didn't want to go over there. I did not want to do that. 2 pieces and 2 pawns for a rook. That's promising. That's promising. Let's go after that one. Can we? 7 pawns. The 6 pawns? Well, that was fascinating. Artificially isolating his d6 pawn. Can we make anything of it? That is the question. Can we make anything of this artificial isolation? Mm-hmm. We've made our way toward the pawn. That was close. That was really, really close. We almost didn't make it.
Check.
Oh, I got lost on the way to you in an orange sky.
So now it's 2 pieces for a rook.
Ocean blue.
Check.
Every mile lost, my soul renewed, taken by the sunrise and the golden view. Walking slowly in the mountains underneath the constellations. Yeah, I know that you've been waiting for me. Time is losing all its meaning, like I'm living in a dream, and I've been chasing all the feelings I need. It's in these
Whoa. He's returning the favor? But for what reason? Let's not get stream sniped. So now we have two pieces. That's a bummer. That is very much a bummer.
Victory.
Yeah, forcing an opponent to resign. Yes. So bishop d2, huh? Time to fix the center. And now for rook to d3, no. Rook d7, no. Getting rid of the bishop, yes. So far, so good. We're now pinning it. Will the exchange sacrifice work again? That is the question. Do I wish to? Let's keep improving our pieces, though. The exchange sacrifice does not work. Tag. Now the exchange sacrifice might be on again. Is there any material being lost here? You are. How does my knight get in? C5, D3. possibly. I thought he should have just overprotected the knight one time. Knight c5, knight a4. Knight b5, knight takes c3. Knight a3. Knight d6. We have to go for all of our options, not just the one. Not just the one. Here's the option. Are you in? Starting to look very promising. Starting to look a little promising. How does he guard? b2. I mean, we also had knight to d3, but that looked a little less clear. Knight to d3 probably won immediately. Our knight's going to c3 anyway. The knight to d3. Did he have anything here? Working our way up. We're getting the hang of this, folks. 1777 is a nice rating. This is almost a normal position. We will decoy his queen as we see fit. Do we have more where that came from? I did notice that when many are playing this game, they tend to use the same pieces over and over again. And it's no good. NG, I say. We're gonna have to anchor our knight. Uh-oh. Did I just lose a piece? Because I can't count? I was really banking on the fact that I was banking on the fact that the bishop on b2 is unprotected. I hallucinated. Hallucinated. How are we doing, Nico, by the way? Boggy. Yes, Eric Rosen's birthday. I hope he's streaming today. I haven't actually seen him stream in a while. Real life must be getting in the way. I know he went to a tournament with Irene Sukandar. I think it would make a great streaming couple, to say the least. This looks like almost a normal game. Can you imagine? A normal chess game? Hard to believe. All right, buddy. we're going to set up some discoveries just for you. Just for you. Discoveries you are going to enjoy the daylights out of. Keep that knight from getting anywhere. I need the E2 square. He is driving me back. That much is true. Good odds. No, I'm not going to help you out. The E6 square does have my name on it, though. That much is true. The E6 square we're going to wait for that moment, though, when the E6 square needs to be named. The square that shall not be named. It's already too late, right? Boggy, where are you from? Boggy88. Well, that's interesting. Checkers? Or do I skewer first? I believe I skewer first. No! Mouflon chess. From Cyprus. One thing is for certain. He is more bothered by my skewer than I am.
Check.
Yes, that should have happened a long time ago. Oh, but he pre-moved. That was very awkward that he pre-moved. He went from a winning position to a losing position. How often does that? Sorry, Mouflon. I really appreciate your generosity. But it's the pre-moving that sucks, to be honest. It is the pre-moving that is the death of us all, to say the least. It is the pre-moving. The D4. I don't really want to give up on a lot of my options, but okay. Let's see what my opponent's choices are. I really wanted the D4 square for my knight, though, to be honest. Watch me self-trap my queen. How cute is that? I almost self-trapped my own queen. Is that crazy? So everything is still hanging, or is it? So right now, it is 2 minor pieces for a queen. I don't really want to make it 3. Let's go to a square where we can cover everything. I'm almost willing to give back a certain amount of material So. Mm-hmm. We're just working our way back to you, babe, with a burning love inside. He finally took it. Let's see what we can get for it. So he's restricting our knight, but things are falling. Is it a winning endgame after that? Could be. Could be a winning endgame after that. Oh, maybe it's not a winning endgame. Maybe it's just a very difficult endgame. A very difficult endgame. Keep him cut off. Borkovich. Oh no! Silly me. Yes, yes. Mouflon chess. I saw your bad chess and I raised you. I see your bad chess and I raised you. You can't even play normal chess there. Berserk is quite reasonable here if you're a 3-0 player for reals. Nothing changes if you're a Berserk player. Alright, moment of truth. Bishops, ruck ruck. Just gonna grab all the space we can. We have more than one knight that can go to the center. So, just because we're trapped in Fischer's mind, Well, I didn't expect that. We're gonna keep grabbing more squares. That's craziness. I expected you to take, sir. I really did. We have the C3 square in our future. Now this knight is feeling it. Isn't it? So knight takes. This is really all about improving your worst placed piece better than the opponent. That is the primary goal of this, regardless of everything else that's going on. Improving your worst placed piece better than your opponent. You are going to that square, that is true. Enjoy. But giving up the exchange anyway, right? So how much material can we get for this exchange? If I play rook to b8, they play c6 and knight d7, or knight takes c6 check, so I don't like any of that. I would love to have the d3 square for my knight. Let's just put it that way. In a very considerate fashion, the d3 square is my square. I'm missing a white squared bishop. Could be time. Get more coffee. I was actually hoping to play in the titled arena today, but I do need to spend some time with my wife. Truth! No way. Yeah, you woke up early enough. Indeed you did. I think that is the one. Well, I haven't used the truth emote enough lately, or at least I haven't used it in this particular browser. Where's my truth? Wait a minute. There it is. Have you been streaming, man? Apparently yes. Apparently no. So, now we're trapped in Fischer's mind. Let's just keep bothering our opponent to no end. Can I play e5, or is that not allowed? I guess we'll save our exchange briefly. And then we'll play e5. Oh, my queen is not really active yet. We need our queen to be active. You know, I've been trying to sacrifice this exchange for some time. You're not helping, by the way. Trying to sacrifice this exchange. We're doing our best, right? Can we? Can we switch knights just for a moment? Gonna switch knights. Can the queen get into trouble? Let's find out. I can't move just yet. Well, that's fascinating. Are you really going to do that to me?
Time is running out.
Yeah, I guess you will.
Check.
Oh no. Did we allow this to happen?
Check. 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 Check.
Well, that's a bummer.
Check.
There's a fork.
Standing in the cold, cold rain. I don't even feel the pain. Anything to
Check.
step away. I know we could both do better.
That's a bummer.
Wish you would've left me
Check.
here. Now I'm just controlled by fear. What's the point in our reflection if you never look in the mirror?
Time is running out.
Counting the days until you're gone. Waiting for us
Check.
to carry on. Oh, I'm running. What am I running from? Time's going by.
I tried, everybody. I tried. I tried my best. I couldn't make it a real stalemate. I needed E5 covered. Damn it. Was there another one I missed? Maybe. 12 points in this arena. Let's see what we can do. Uh-oh. Did I get my phone call? What? My wait is unavailable. Did I miss it? White didn't move. There's 17 points down the tubes. All right. We're on a brief intermission here. I'm connected to Anissa.
so surprised. Haven't you seen it in my eyes? Oh, I'm running, what am I running from? Time's going by, but where's the time going? I tried to give you everything. You took it all and took it for granted. If you're still falling out of love, maybe it's 'cause I'm not enough.
Hopefully, I'll be able to resolve this airline ticket to Trinidad. I appreciate everyone being here. Small family emergency. It is probably best if I migrate everyone over to another streamer who I never really get to raid on average. And he is also playing this, and he's a bit stronger than I am. So I want to thank everyone for being here. Please join him in the same 360 arena. I do appreciate all of you. If more of you want to join the raid, that would be great. As I've got a texting emergency. My sister-in-law is probably got only a couple of weeks, so my wife's flight to Trinidad for Monday on JetBlue, and I'm just trying to square some things away. I did have this family emergency earlier, then I was in a long wait time queue, and of course I forgot about it. So fortunately, they've connected me to Anissa, who has not yet responded, but she was there a moment ago. And thank you, Truth. I hope to see you and catch you soon. And everyone, please check out the Truth. I have him as one of our moderators. I should have him as a VIP instead. Then he'll count as a viewer. Namaste, the Truth. I should just graduate you. Thank you, everyone. I wish I could stay longer. Ciao. Talk to you soon. Thanks, Truth. Great to see you. Hope Fiona is doing well. Ciao.